So here are the top tools for Helium 10. For those of you guys who are new and don't really know about Helium 10, I'm going to show you guys the best tools and how to use them. And if you do know, you may be a little bit more experienced and you use Helium 10, I'm going to show you some of the tips and tricks that I use on a daily basis to get most out of the software. All right, so let's dive into the first tool and probably the most important one, which is the Chrome extension. Basically, what it allows you to do is, you open up any page. In this case, we did the tennis elbow brace, just as an example. And if you open up the Chrome extension, it's very simple. It opens up on any single page and it shows you the exact revenue, reviews, sales point, just a bunch of data, just an insane amount of data on the products, and allows you to make smart decisions whether a product is right for you or not. It gives you a lot of market intelligence. But that's pretty self-explanatory. This is not like a beginner's guide, so there's a bunch of videos out there for that. But what I do want to show you is probably my favorite tool, which is Cerebro. Essentially, what you want to do is, first off, you're going to pick whichever market you're looking to go into, or even if your product's already in a market, if you want to improve it. In this situation, we're going to talk about the tennis elbow brace. The first thing, so step one, how to use Cerebro, is if you already have a product, first click your product, wherever it is. Let's assume this one right here is your product. So you'll click that. If you don't have a product in the market yet and you're just thinking about going into the market, it's very important that you pick a product that actually is very, very similar to your product that you're going to sell, but isn't doing so well in the revenue department. So in this market, this product's making $4,000. It's not the best, probably not the worst. You can pick something that's worse, but you have to remember you pick a product first that's similar to yours, but isn't doing too well. After that, what you want to do is go into the market and start picking out the products that are doing very, very well. So we're going to pick this one. We're going to pick this one, 180,000 per month. This one's doing really well. And essentially you can pick up to 10 or up to 9 competitors. We're not going to pick this one because it's not doing too well. You want to pick ones that are making more money. And I'm doing this pretty quick. We're at 8 right now. This one right here, right? It says that it's making 131,000, but a very, very important note in this situation is you can't pick a product that's actually different. We're talking about a brace here, a specific type of brace, these little ones. This is more of an elbow sleeve, and that's a completely different product, so we cannot compare those. Even though it shows up on this keyword, it's not comparable. It's not really a competitor of yours. We're also going to pick this one right here, and that makes 9. I mean, we don't need really any more. 9's usually enough, 8, 9, and we won't pick this one because that's 10,000. So from there, that's enough. Let's click on Run Cerebro, this button right here, and it automatically will open up the actual web extension for you. Take it straight into Cerebro, and what this is going to do is it's actually going to pick out all your competitors' keywords, all that we picked there, and it's going to spit out all the different keywords, all the different variations that the products could show up on. That's very, very cool, of course, because it would take you tons of time to figure this out. I don't even know if it'd be possible to figure out on your own, but the cool part here is what you can do with this information. By processing it in a certain way, we're able to pick out the important keywords for each different listing. Click on top keywords. Helium 10 makes it super easy, and essentially what this does is, clicking that, basically all you need to do, but what this does is automatically filters for keywords with a minimum of 500 search volume. It also goes in and figures out the competitor rank average from 1 to 40, as well as ranking competitors to 5. Now, what this means is competitor rank average, if you go back to the thing here, basically each listing has its own organic position. So these are all ads. This one right here is position 1, position 2, position 3, position 4 for this specific keyword, right? If I typed in a different keyword, they would be in different orders. But for this one, it goes from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, etc. and onwards. So what this does is it takes all the competitors that we picked and it makes sure that the keyword, so for example, tennis elbow brace, this keyword makes sure that those competitors are showing up between organic position 1 and 40. The reason why is because if in a certain keyword, the competitors are showing up, but they're showing up on like page 10, well, obviously it's not really that important of a keyword, and they're probably not getting that many sales from that keyword in general, if any. So what this is going to do is it's going to pick out only the relevant keywords for you. Now, on top of that, what it does is it makes sure that the ranking competitors out of the ones that we picked, I think 8 here. So it takes them and it makes sure that at least 5 of them are ranking for that specific keyword within positions 1 and 40, organic positions 1 and 40, like the averages. So hopefully that makes sense. It's a little confusing, but essentially this makes sure that they're ranking well, and this makes sure that a lot of the competitors that you chose are ranking well for those keywords. So in this case, it's really good. It shows me 57 keywords, but for example, let's assume that you didn't get enough keywords. Let's say you only had like 20 keywords from this search. So what you can do is you can come in here and you can actually open up your filter. So let's say 1 to 50. We can also do less competitors here, 3. You can do less search volume as well. And if I click this, you should see we should have way more keywords. So yeah, 160 keywords. For us, that's probably not something we want, but so we'll go back to the top keywords and do it that way. But if you have, let's say, too many keywords, let's say, for example, you got too many, maybe you got 100. You can come in here and you can do 30, and then you can do, 6 or 7. And then you can even make it higher search volume. And that way, you'll get less keywords. So it all depends on how many keywords you get. In this situation, I think 57 is perfectly fine for us. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna kind of filter them from high to low, so you know the kind of most important keywords. Also from this, which is really, really important, you're able to see the CPR, which basically says how many units you need to sell to rank for that keyword. Another thing it allows you to see is the title density. What this means is basically how many times on the main keyword or on that keyword. So in this case, the keyword is elbow brace for tendonitis and tennis elbow, has 47,000 searches, and only 10 of the competitors on the first page have this keyword in the title. Whereas in this situation, elbow brace, 38 competitors have it in their title. Here, tennis elbow brace for men, only 6 have it in their title. What this allows you to do is allows you to analyze different keywords and understand which ones you can rank for. So for this one, elbow brace, tendonitis, blah, blah, only 10 people are using this, which means if you go, it should be very easy, not very easy, but easier for you to rank for that keyword if you put it in your title, because not so many people are competing for that exact keyword. Even though it has 47,000 searches, only 10 people actually have it in their title, which is actually pretty crazy considering the fact that how much search volume this has. Again, this means that you'll be able to rank easier for that. Something like 38 or 33 would be pretty difficult. So a lot of people are competing for the word tennis elbow, but tennis elbow only has a search volume of 9,900. So more people are competing over a smaller keyword, where the other way around is the more important thing, is compete for a bigger keyword with less title density. And that's a really, really cool tool that a lot of people aren't talking about. If you're having problems ranking, go into this, pull up your competitors, and see what you can change in your listing to improve your ranking that way. So that's Cerebro. Tons of things you can do with this. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take all the keywords and we're going to move them into Frankenstein. This is another tool, and what this allows you to do is actually process a bunch of different keywords. It's like a keyword processing tool. If, for example, you just want to find out what are the best keywords, what are the most important keywords in my space, take those keywords, come in here, you just literally process it, and you'll see it takes out all the duplicates and converts to lowercase as well. So basically here, these are all the words that are important in this space. So elbow brace for tendonitis, pain, cure medial. So these are all the words. If you know how Amazon works, you don't really need to repeat yourself in a listing. Amazon is smart enough to mix and match all the words. Theoretically, you still want to have the keyword phrases, right? So in this situation, so what I like to do is if I'm building out my listing, I actually don't process it this way. What you want to do is probably not really process too much if you're just building out your listing. This is more for optimizations later down the road. So I'm just going to click maintain phrases and keep the duplicates and 1 word / phrase per line. So now we have all the keywords here. Basically, we're not really going to process it right now, and I'm just going to move them into scribbles and show you what this next tool is. This tool right here allows you to build out your listing. So you have all the keywords that we know are very, very important for our listing. We know this because our competitors are ranking for them, and we're going to click apply here. This is then going to pull out all those words and show us the words and phrases that are important to add into our listing. So we go into the title, for example, and we know that the one that doesn't have a lot of, if we go back to Cerebro, you'll see here, this keyword, right, doesn't have a lot of title density, which means we definitely want to add it in our title because we'll be able to rank for it easier if it's in our title versus other people who don't add it there. So we'll go in and you just type in, elbow brace for tendonitis. Obviously, I'm not going to build out this listing because that takes a lot of time, a lot of finessing. So, but I want to show you how it works. So you have the elbow brace, tennis elbow, etc. Then you can go into the bullet points, and you can see as you write it down, it gives you all the variations, the important ones. And you can see here we used this one word once, this word twice, this word once, and you can see it also scratches off the words here. It goes from most important in red to least important in green. Same thing here. and you want to make sure that you add these in. So tennis elbow for women is also important, and it's good to have the phrase in, like I mentioned. When you're first trying to get ranked, it's okay to repeat yourself, because the way Amazon works, even though you don't have to repeat yourself, it's easier to have the phrases in there so that Amazon can pull them out and rank you for them. That's why you want to, make sure to get all your phrases in. Another thing you can do is, if you already have a listing, you can actually import the listing from Amazon. So let's say you have a listing, but you want to optimize it. Let's go back into our tennis elbow situation here and pick out like one of them. I don't know. Let's just pick out this one. Grab the ASIN, which you can find up here. Copy that. And we're going to toss it into the scribbles. Press apply. It's going to pull out all the info from Amazon, and you're going to be able to work with that here. As you can see, right, this listing that, how much does this listing make? So this listing is only making 6,500 in revenue. And I know why, because their optimizations are really, really bad. They don't even have the main keyword here, elbow brace for tendonitis and tennis elbow. They're not showing that there. They don't have tennis elbow brace for men or tennis elbow brace for women, tendonitis elbow brace. So all these keywords, look at all these phrases that are not added in there. Okay, it has some of the words, but it's missing a lot. It doesn't even have the word golf in it. And I know that golf may not seem like it's an important keyword here, but if you go back to Cerebro, you'll see that golf is an important keyword. Golfer's elbow brace, 5,600 search volume, obviously very important. It's kind of like a secondary market, but if you don't do this, work, you'll never know that you should add that into your listing somewhere. Now, if you are doing, let's say, a situation like this where, okay, so he does have golfers. Actually, now I see that he has golfers, but he doesn't have the word golf. Another thing you can do is, if you, let's say, just want to make this a completely, tennis thing, you can also add in the words like golf and stuff like that. So golfers, elbow brace for men, and that will take it off from there in your actual search terms. So if you have those in your search terms, you will still rank for them, but you won't have to show them on your listing. Another thing you can do is, if you know that there's certain misspellings, let's say people write, tennis, whatever, you can add those into your search terms, and that way, you don't have to look stupid by adding misspellings into your actual listing if there are common misspellings that people search for, in your niche. Another really, really important tool that a lot of people don't talk about, and one of my favorite ones also, is actually the index checker. And what this does is, I'm going to show you an example here. So let's go back to our product. Let's assume that this is our product, right? We're going to grab the keyword. So, or not the keyword, we're going to grab the ASIN, go into our index checker, put in the ASIN in there, and then we need all the keywords. So the keywords were from here. Let's copy to clipboard. Oh, I'm going to go here, copy to clipboard, and we're actually going to go back into the index checker and just paste the keywords in there. We're going to click on check keywords. What this is going to do is, it's going to figure out what keywords we're showing up on and what keywords we're not. So there's a difference between ranking. So ranking is how high up for a certain keyword you show, like I mentioned here. So let's say we go back here. Ranking means, I want to rank to the top of page one. I want to be at the top of the pages, right? So, showing up higher, that's called ranking. Whereas indexing is a completely different term. And indexing means, do you show up for that keyword at all? So if you type in tennis elbow brace, does your product even show up? Because the way Amazon works is, it's obviously smart, right? If you type in, apple slicer, you shouldn't see tennis elbow braces because it's completely irrelevant. When that works, it works great. It's only showing you the products that should be showing up. Now that can also go poorly if you don't optimize properly, or if you make certain mistakes when you're creating your listing. There can be times where, even though your product should show up for tennis elbow brace, Amazon isn't matching it with the relevancy. And so we need to know if there's certain keywords, especially the main keywords here, that you're not ranking for, or sorry, you're not indexing for. So if you're not indexing for them, it means no one can find them even if they wanted to. Now, the way this thing works is, there's like a bunch of different things. Don't worry about the storefront index. This is not indexing because I didn't put the seller ID in there. So don't worry about that too much. The most important one is the cumulative. There's a bunch of different tests that it does. Like, for example, the ASIN plus keyword, it does basically takes the ASIN and then it goes into here. And essentially what it does, it'll take tennis elbow brace. So we'll go ASIN plus tennis elbow brace. And if you show up here, that's good. So where is it? So it is right here. So that's great. So that means you are indexing for it. So basically it does this in this field, this traditional index. It takes every single keyword, automatically takes your ASIN plus the keyword, and makes sure, checks if you're even showing up. So you can imagine how long this would take to do just that one test. Then it has another field ASIN test, basically does tests, make sure that you're actually indexing. What the important part is, the cumulative. Look through them. This here's all check marks, which is great. But if there's a dash, like in this situation, it means it's not it's not indexing. And that's obviously very bad. I'm gonna actually filter this. So it shows all the non-indexed at the bottom. So you can see this seems to be a Spanish keyword. Don Joy elbow brace. I think that may be a brand. Flex bar for tennis elbow. Another word you're not ranking for. Tendinitis. So tendinitis, either that's a misspelling, or which I think it is, or it's a different thing. Not tendinitis, it's tendinitis. I don't know. I would put my money on that this is a misspelling, and that's what I mentioned. Take the keywords and go into your scribbles. I already turned off the scribbles, but add that into your search terms, because you don't want to seem stupid by adding misspellings into the listing where people can read them. You want them in the back end where people can't see them, but you still index for them. So this guy's not indexing for that misspelling. This is a perfect example of where you put that in your back end. Also, flex bar for tennis elbow, not sure what that is, not sure if that's relevant, but again, you can add that into the search terms if you want to rank for it. In situations like this where you have a brand name, I think Don Joy is a brand name. You not only do you not want to, but you're not allowed to, by terms of service, to add that into your listing. So it's actually against terms of service to do that. You can get in trouble. What you want to do instead in a situation like this is take those keywords where they have the actual brand name and add them into PPC campaigns. And it's totally okay to run PPC on a competitor's name. And that way you start getting some sales. And once you get the sales, you'll start to index and rank for that keyword as well. So that's how you do that. In terms of Spanish, again, you want to add that into your search terms, into the back end where people don't see it. That way you're not mixing English and Spanish, but when someone searches up, they'll actually find the product because you'll be indexing for it. As you can see, there's a lot of things this seller can improve on, and that's probably one of the big reasons why they're not making that much money in this space. And that's just some of the actual tools that you can use. In here, there's a ton of other tools, like for example, Black Box. I really don't use this too much, but Black Box allows you to find products. If you want to learn how to find products, the ways I like them, I'll put a video up here. It's doing really, really well. A lot of great feedback, so go check that out if you want to after this video. Other really good tools are Misspellinator if you want to find out any misspellings. There is Keyword Tracker, super important. If you're going to run any PPC or anything like that, make sure to put those keywords into the Keyword Tracker. Even like right now, if you were optimizing your listing, add those keywords into the Keyword Tracker. It shows you basically in real time, essentially, how your ranking is happening. Remember I told you ranking is where you show up on the page? So it'll show you, are you going up? Are you going down? And that way you can know if you're going down, start some PPC campaigns, run them towards those keywords so you can rank higher. There's also alerts by Helium10, hijacker and product monitoring. Anytime there's a hijacker, someone who tries to sell on your listing, you'll be notified. You can't sit in front of the computer 24/7, so it's good to have those notifications as well when something does happen. Also, you have Refund Genie, which essentially will pay for the software subscription itself. It shows you anytime that if someone damages your inventory in the warehouse or something like that, you're owed money. Essentially, Amazon doesn't really like to pay that out a lot of the times unless you call them out on it. So that's a really good way to find out when you deserve reimbursement for damaged or lost products. Another really cool thing that Helium10 does have is, I know it can seem quite overwhelming, at least for me when I switched over to Helium10. There were so many different tools, there were so many different settings, and even look at this page, this is crazy, right? The good part about this is every single tool, every single page has a whole learn section where you can go in and you can learn all about how to use it. There's like a 10-minute, 6-minute, 3-minute video about how to learn how to use these tools to the best of their abilities. And they have that for literally all of them. Lastly, probably a tool for only really experienced sellers is Adtomic. It's like it says here, Amazon advertising platform. It helps you manage your PPC campaigns, helps you set up rules and automations, certain things like that for that as well. I think it's really, really cool. I have a video here that I show how to use it and all that kind of stuff. You can watch it here. But again, it's very, very expensive for that package for Helium10. I think it's like $300 a month. But I think for most people, if you are serious about Amazon, if you're watching this video, I'm sure that you are, you should pick up the software. I'm gonna put a link in the description. You only really need, if you're just getting started or an intermediary seller, you need the $100 per month package. I think it's the platinum package. With my link in the description, there is a discount, so 10% off for life, or 50% off for the first month. They have a really, really good refund policy too. If for whatever reason you don't like it, just get your money back. But to be honest, if you are selling on Amazon, you only need one software, you only need one tool. And this is an all-in-one platform, every single thing that you could possibly need. And I'm going to be fully transparent with the link in the description. I do get a small, cut of the tiny commission for you getting signed up. But if you want to pay full price and not get the discount, you can do that as well. It doesn't really matter for me. I only promote things that I personally use. And this is literally one of the only things that I promote on the channel is Helium10. I think nowadays, if you're with some other software tool, like I know there's a lot of them out there, or you're not using a tool at all, it's mind-blowing to me. Pick up at least 50% off the first month, try it out, see if you like it. If you don't, you can always get a refund. But it's just mind-blowing to me that people are using other software tools or not using tools at all. There's no way you're going to succeed in 2022 without it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got some value from it, and I'll see you in the next one.